right? All the gold, all the riches, all the silver, all the fine jewels. Listen, and everything he stole from you, and he stole your nationality from you in this book right here. This book, these 14 books that they took out of the Bible is your nationality stolen by that so-called white man.
That's right.
Read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in a want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
So let me ask you a question. What's the last thing you ate? Salmon burger. A solid choice. Now, where'd you get the salmon from? What store? Who owns that market? So you got to go to them in hunger. What's the last thing you drank? Water? From where? From the A+? Right? How much they charge you for that water? $2? When water falls from the sky for free? They charge you $2 for that? And you had to go where to get it? And who runs that gas? Who owns that gas station? I mean, the Arabs may own it, but guess who gave them license to own it? So you got to go to the white people for everything, right? If you got to get an ID or a driver's license, who you got to go to? You got to go to? You got to go to the white man. So this is a curse among our people. It's that the Most High set upon us, right? Read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
So the man that is tender among you, and we're not talking about no homosexual type folly, right? We used to literally talk about, yo, bro, what's going on? You good today? Everything cool? Everything in the crib? Good, man?
It should be better, but you know, it's chill.
Your rent paid up?
Oh, of course.
How's the baby?
Good.
How's the wife?
Yeah, you know, everything, but it's all right.
That's how we talking. So the man that was tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. What's that sound like?
Punch in the face.
Going at it.
You owe me $20, nigga. I ain't seen you since last summer, since this COVID came out. Nah, it's on site. That's black on black crime, so-called black on black crime, right? That's in the Bible, right? Who has the abundance of single parent homes? We have that. That's a curse in this Bible. That's the ultimate curse. If we could break that curse, we could come back under the laws of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh and gain the kingdom of heaven. Read.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17.
Bring it out.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So you're not supposed to hate your brother in your heart. That's the law. But guess what? America turned the law upside down. They made it so that you have to hate your brother in your heart. They supply the cocaine and the drugs and the guns in your communities. They just drop it off in the middle of the night somewhere. Yo, I found this crate somewhere. This is the curse that we're living in right now, and we're the ones that have to stop, flip everything back the way it was supposed to be. Read.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 21. He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that hath mercy on the poor, happy is he.
So if you despise your neighbor being your brother, right? Forget about the rest of these nations. Your neighbor being your brother. If you despise your neighbor, you've already broken the law. You're a murderer in the eyes of the Most High.
That's right.
You're a murderer in his eyes. In the kingdom of heaven, he's like, no, you're not making it. We in a fight. We in a dog fight. We're in a straight up dog fight. It's us or nothing. Wait.
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 11. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness has blinded his eyes.
So yeah, we walking in darkness because a lot of our brothers hate each other. We walking in darkness. And it's crazy because my elder, when we were up in Philly last year, he said, yo, when this coronavirus breaks, When they finally start letting people out, it's going to be murders everywhere. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Read your priest.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 14, and verse 15. Whosoever hated his brother is a murderer, and ye know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him.
So like I said earlier, if you hate your brother, you're a murderer. And the Most High is not dealing with that, because he's correcting his people. He only came for his people. He doesn't care about the rest of these nations. He calls them less than nothing. How in the world are you less than nothing? He calls these other nations less than nothing. What's less than nothing? I can't even say nothing because we talk about less than nothing. Read.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, and verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing. And vanity.
And what?
And vanity.
And vanity. They just here to be seen. They just here to be seen. They are less than nothing, and they're here to be seen. That's it. He's only dealing with his people. He told you that in Matthew 18 and 11. Right? Got a precept, King? Kind of bring your Leviticus out.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
So you got to love your neighbor as yourself. If your brother did you wrong, listen, go talk to him about it. Y'all could go your separate ways after that. Don't murder your brother. What's up? Got a question?
Got a question. Why are we the only ones cursed?
Why? Because we broke the covenant. We broke agreement with the Most High. Read it again for him.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
That's the covenant. That's the covenant. That's the contract that our forefathers signed with the Most High. Our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They signed that contract with the Most High. So we are in breach of that contract. So therefore, he's destroying us. It's like when you breach a contract in America, what happens? You go to court. So we in court right now, and we guilty. And we guilty. That's why we come out here on the highways, because everybody don't know it, right? Bring a precept out.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So the Most High only knows us. So he said he's going to punish us for all our iniquities, right? Because we broke the covenant. It's a good father. You know what a good father does when you say, listen, stay away from the stove? Stay away from the stove. All right, now I'm tired of talking, stay away from the stove and the belt come off. That's what it is, until we get it right. But the thing is, if we don't get it right before this, yeah.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. Right. My skin is black upon me.
What did Job say?
My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat.
So even Job said I'm black, right? Everybody, every single prophet in this Bible is black. From Job to David to Solomon, right? We got our women in there, Esther. Everybody in this book is black. This is a black man's Bible. This is the black history. This is our history book. It's been stolen from us. It's been tampered with and misused for centuries. And now the Most High is bringing judgment down. Ever since the Passover, ever since before the Passover, he's been raining judgment down. Now that the Passover has came, it's been amped up, I would say at least 2 to 3 times more. And it's just the beginning. That's the bad part. This is just the beginning. This is the beginning of sorrows. You're about to see so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans murdered on a rate that you've never even thought you would see in your life. You thought the transatlantic slave trade was something? That's nothing. It's about to go down. And if we don't band together now, like it says in Zephaniah 2:1, if we don't come together, we're going to all be destroyed. Right? Somebody get Zephaniah for me. Zephaniah 2:1. It's time for us to come together in righteousness. Right? Read.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So we got to gather together. We got to gather together before destruction comes. Read.
Verse 2, before the decree bring forth, before the day has passed as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Read that last part again.
Verse 2, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
And the Lord is an angry man. He's angry every day. He's angry every day because we won't come back to the law, statutes, and commandments that he put forth for us. That's why he's angry every day. And he's a man of war, right? The Lord is a man of war. The church tell you he's coming down with hugs and kisses, you know what I mean? Hearts and teddy bears, some damn Care Bears and gummy bears and all types of folly. He's a man of war. He's coming with death, destruction, and a sword. And what's he going to do with that sword? What does the sword use for?
Yeah.
To slice, right? And he's going to be taking a lot of heads, right? Read.
We out here.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
So if the Lord is a man of war, what makes everybody think Christ is all love? If the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, what makes them think that so-called Christ is all love? Just said the Lord is a man of war. Any man of war I know, listen, yo, he did what? Hold up, wait, hold this. Strap me. Yo, hold up, yo, listen, I'm gonna show you this, nobody else. When I'm done, if I don't come back, I need you to do this. Yo, pass me the keys. Give me the keys, nigga. Any man of war I know going like that. Listen, yo, they did that to nah, it's going down. Right. Precept, got your precept? Come on.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 19 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Who's talking right there?
Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus.
And he said, those mine enemies. Who are his enemies? 2/3 of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that don't want to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and all the other nations. He said, those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, because he's our king, right? Got Isaiah 43? Because he's our king. He said, those that would not have me reign over them, bring them hither, right? And slay them before me.